everyone, it's Laura, and in this boomerang ad tutorial, I'm going to introduce you to some of the richest, most powerful traffic there is. First, what's boomerang advertising? Let me give you a scenario. It shouldn't take long for you to see how this is going to take your traffic getting and conversion strategies to a whole new level, and not for nothing. This is fun. Okay, since you've been watching these videos, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you've been getting smarter. Good. I have too. But even the absolutely most brilliant internet marketer, when they're doing amazing work converting their visitors into customers, might be converting at a rate of 10%. And trust me, that's huge. You can write your own ticket and the ticket of the dude next to you with that kind of conversion rate. But still, that means 90% of your visitors are leaving. Poof, gone. And that's just a waste of traffic and money. Well, not anymore. Just like a real boomerang that comes back after it leaves your control, boomerang advertising uses the tactic of retargeting to figuratively stalk someone who has visited your site. It might actually be literal stalking, but in a warm, fuzzy, friendly digital way. Let's put aside the technology for a second, because it's easy, and let's talk about how this works to create sales and profits. I'm pretty sure you do some shopping on the web, right? Think about the last time you went somewhere and did not buy. It didn't mean that you didn't want to buy, does it? One of the biggest reasons people don't buy the first time they visit is because they're short on time. Maybe they're at work or just wanted to see what was actually out there real quick. They did that and then they went back to work. Or they got interrupted or maybe even got distracted, because that never happens, right? The point is, and the math proves this time and time again, that the people who have visited your website and then left are one of the richest sources of traffic you can advertise to. The problem used to be there was no way to advertise to just these people. Now there is. Check out this hypothetical. Let's say someone visits your site. They look at your product. Then they get a phone call. And then after the phone call, they realize they need to get back to work on something. And they don't buy. Later that day, they're out surfing around the web again. And all of a sudden, they see your ad. Not on your website, but on a different website, like CNN. Whoa! They just saw your ad for a product on CNN? Do you think that might help your brand? And before you make a funny comment on CNN's political leanings, let's say they saw your ad on Fox. Happy now? Okay, not only did they just see your ad on a major website, you were smart enough to give them a reason to come back to your site now. Your ad gives them a coupon code so that they can save X% or get free shipping or get a special bundle. At that point, they've got a reason to revisit you, and maybe because you've given them a new offer or bonus, now they're really thinking about you and your product. Now, here's what you might be asking. You might be asking, how much does it cost for you to appear on that big site? The one thing that makes you look like a big company with big ad dollars. If you do it right, and I'm not talking about any kind of loophole or quote secret strategy, unquote, that might go away next week. I'm just talking about knowing how to do it right. If you do it right, it could cost you quarters, dimes, and nickels. Do I have your attention? Good. Like I said, you're getting smart about this stuff. Think about all the possibilities. You can use this kind of retargeting technology and boomerang your visitor back to any page from any page they've been to. So maybe you have a boomerang ad running on one of your squeeze pages, but only to people who didn't opt in. Maybe your boomerang ad introduces you to some scarcity, like important. The free report on foods that you must not eat is about to expire. Now you're continuing the conversation. When your visitor first came to your site, you started the conversation. Now with your retargeted boomerang ad, you're continuing it. And guess what? It works, and it's cheap. Here's one that's working really well. You retarget people that have added a product to your shopping cart, but they left. Because with retargeting technology, you can tell your ad to only appear to those kind of people. It's very cool. Anywho, your ad now appears to those people who have abandoned their shopping cart. And you could say something like, good news, the massage chair that you were looking at now has free shipping. Again, continuing the conversation. I've even seen smart marketers like Andy and Mike retarget their customers to let them know that new content or a bonus module has just been released. And guess what? They have some of the lowest refund rates around. And it's because they are, you got it, they are continuing the conversation. And don't get me started about how good boomerang retargeting works for webinars or events that have limited or specific dates. It's crazy. And here's the thing. You have been retargeted. You just might not realize it. I did a little experiment for the last few days. I've been keeping track of the sites that I know will retarget me, and of sites that I know that use retargeting technology. So here we go. I busted my Fitbit. Don't laugh. But because of that, I've gone to Fitbit.com to see what's new and improved with their devices. I also went to Vistaprint because I'm getting this very cool t-shirt made. Now, don't be jealous. Ha! And I went to BestBuy.com to look at a new headset microphone because I've been traveling to work with Mike and Andy. I've been budget rent-a-car, plus doing a little visitation and bargain hunting on some of my favorite online stores like White House Black Market, Pottery Barn, Big Commerce, and even Microsoft 365 to log into my Office Cloud shizzle. I know that each one of these places retargeted me, so let's see what happens. In the last hour, I've been doing some random surfing. Now take a look at this. In the top banner area, there's Budget Rent-A-Car. In the side banner area, Vistaprint. Over here, Best Buy, they retargeted me down to the specific page because look at what they're showing me, headphones. And on this site, I got a boomerang ad from Vistaprint and Microsoft Cloud. Over here, there's one from Big Commerce. Oh, here's something funny. If you remember in video 2, I used the industry Forex as an example of how to do research. Well, look at that. Now I'm being retargeted with Forex offers. And here on Facebook, a Pottery Barn ad. And again, an ad from Best Buy, and here's a Fitbit ad. Oh, and check this awesomeness out. On this site, Best Buy targeted me with an ad from a Fitbit competitor. Interesting. What's even more interesting is that I did not look at Fitbit on Best Buy's site. Getting any good ideas yet? Me too. Now let's just prove an important point. First, you already know you can use Facebook advertising with all kinds of products, services, anything really that doesn't violate whatever terms of service they have. Like you'll notice, there's no porn retargeting, which is odd. Anyway, when you're retargeting, just like Facebook, just about any kind of product or service will work. Let me show you one way out of left field. This is one of my clients. They sell grills. And not just any old Home Depot type grills that disintegrate the third time they get rained on. I'm talking high-end grills. Grills that cost thousands of dollars. Seriously, they're probably made out of the same stuff the stealth fighters use. So let's see what boomerang advertising with retargeting technology can do with a product that most people would give up on. Here's a test campaign that's a few months old. Allow me to direct your attention to 3 metrics here. The first is the number of clicks, 1,190. Well, that's a cool little flow of traffic. But here's where the shiz gets real. Look at the number of conversions, 182. That's a 15.5% conversion rate from that traffic. That's downright heroic. And now let's look at the cost of this entire campaign, $671.51. This is why I love my job. And I'm just going to go ahead and guess that on these grills, with those kind of price tags, they made out pretty good. And what did they do? They continued the conversation. And yes, you can do this on Facebook. And because we all think that this is an essential traffic getting strategy, in the full Traffic Genesis project, I'm going to show you how to go outside of Facebook to sites like Perfect Audience, which is one of my favorites, Site Scout, and AdRoll. They all offer retargeting services, so you can do your boomerang advertising. But because we've been focusing on Facebook, let me show you how easy this is to set up. First, Facebook doesn't call it retargeting. They call it a website custom audience. What you're doing is using Facebook technologies to create a boomerang campaign. So creating a website custom audience is just like creating any other type of custom audience, except in this case, Facebook gives you a little web code that you add to your site so you can keep track of your visitors' comings and goings. It's really easy to put this code on your site, and if you're using WordPress, it's the same thing as adding any other kind of tracking code. If you're doing your own thing, it gets passed into your head tags, but if I were you, I'd just send this off to my webmaster person and let them deal with it. And since it's the same code on every page, it's fast and easy to do. Now you tell Facebook what pages on your site need to be seen for this visitor to become part of your retargeting campaign. And you can do combinations. So maybe you're only targeting people who've been to your squeeze page, but not to your shopping cart. It can get pretty addictive because you'll want to customize your ads depending on what pages your visitor has seen. Now, just one last thing. I got a lot of good feedback from people who saw my last little affiliate campaign. They basically said they liked how you could test small, pay yourself first, then scale up. And that's something everybody should do. Remember, we want to manage our risk when it comes to traffic. just like an investor would. So let me show you one more test campaign from Mike and Andy. This is from 2 Facebook retargeting campaigns. One ad ran in the newsfeed and one in the sidebar. Now just look at the numbers on this test. In the newsfeed ad, they had 32 clicks in this test, but they had 16 conversions to a sale. When you do the math, that means it cost them a whopping 46 cents to get a customer. And check out the sidebar ad, 22 conversions with 28 clicks. That only cost them 55 cents to get a customer. So for this test, it cost them about $26. And they were able to get 38 customers. And this is for a $300 product with upsells. So their total sales that resulted from this retargeting campaign test was $4,693. Yes, it's Mike and Andy, and they're at the top of their game. But it just proves my point. A, always test before you ramp up your advertising. Start small, look at the results, modify your creative, and test some more. And B, retargeting rocks. That's how you make a trickle of traffic feel like a mountain.